Where to begin? Hi, I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka JND, and welcome back to another video. First of all, I'd like to apologize that I haven't uploaded for like 2 weeks. I swear I was planning on uploading. I had filmed a bunch of videos. The birds are going crazy. I filmed a bunch of videos, but I wasn't liking what I was creating, so I kind of just took a little vacation. And then on top of that, I lost my battery charger, got a different one. It was corrupted. I thought I broke my camera. It was an interesting time. Now I'm back to filming videos regularly, and during the months of June and July, I will be uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you subscribe so you can check out all my content. Well, let's get into it. Today's video is going to be a May wrap-up. We are already basically halfway into 2019. It's so crazy. Let's see how many books I read in June. I don't even know off the top of my head. In the month of May, I managed to read 11 books. What? Okay, but I kind of cheated, and we'll get into that a little bit later. Stay tuned. The first book I read in the month of May was Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. So as you guys may know, Broken Throne recently came out. So I want to reread the whole series. So obviously it was a 5-star read, and after rereading it for my second time, I can kind of understand why people may think it's a little bit more basic. The first book does start with them at a very young, innocent age, them being very naive and believing and having a lot of faith and trust in people, so I can see why the first book may be kind of hard to like want to continue in the series, but the characters really have such an arc and character development throughout. Oh, there's a fly on me. They have such a distinct character arc, and they grow so much and they change so much from that first book, because when I picked it up and I was listening to Mare and Cal talk, I was like, well, these are not the Mare and Cal I remember, because the most recent book I read was Warstorm, and they act pretty differently in that. I mean, there's still that whole love thing going on, but I'm trashy for that love story. I'm sorry. The second book that I read was Glass Sword. So this one was actually really interesting because after rereading it, I think I actually do like the second book more than the first book. The first book is a little bit annoying when people are trusting people way too easily and things like that. And some story like plots were a little unbelievable, but more so that Mare being so innocent, I'm like, why would you ever do anything like that? But of course it's because she's trusting and she's a kid. And in the second book you see how she's trying to learn from those mistakes she made in the first book, and the story gets so much more complex in the second book, them trying to find people and save them. It's just incredible. So if you don't know Red Queen series, real quick, it's a world where there's people with red blood, people with silver blood. Silver blood, they think they're gods. Red blood, of course, they're like, we don't care about you. You work for us. Go in the military. Go die for us. And it's a small nation, Norta, which is in the middle of this kind of continent of other lands. And there's a lot of wars going on around them. And as the story progressed, the complexity within other countries and travel and like trying to understand other governments gets just even more juicy. So there's no other way to explain it. It's just, I love it. I think it's an incredible story, the Red Queen series. So I hope to continue King's Cage and Warstorm this month. We'll see. But yeah, Glass Sword is definitely a 5 out of 5, guys. So good. And I will mention that I did read half of King's Cage already. I kind of dropped it because Asian readathon was happening, and I realized I hadn't really read anything that like was for that, so I kind of put it on pause, but I got halfway through it, and you'll hear my thoughts about it maybe next wrap up. The next book I read was so amazing. With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I could talk about this forever. As much love as I have for Red Queen, I have for Elizabeth Acevedo. This story is so amazing, and I was listening to interviews of her saying how we need to make stories that are engaging for all people, because if we want people to be educated, well-informed, engaged to read, we have to make engaging stories that relate to all people. So I love that she's out there making great content. This story is about a girl, Imani. She is a teen mom, but she's still attending high school, and she has dreams of being a chef. She lives with her abuela, and her daughter's now like 3 years old. She's a senior, and she's trying to figure out, how do I balance my passions, my dreams with the things that I have to do responsibility-wise. So I think this is a great story for basically anyone of any age. If you have a passion or a dream and you're struggling to figure out how to achieve it. So if you're thinking, I'm not mixed, this won't relate to me, it will relate to you. And if you're worried about it not relating to you because it's about a teen mom, it is not just about being a teen mom. And I also loved in the interviews, Elizabeth Acevedo talked about how when teen moms are talked about, they normally just talk about whether they should get the abortion or if they should keep the baby, and then the conversation ends there. That the discussion doesn't continue on after when they choose to have a baby, what happens. So I love that she's so engaged in the conversation and in such a time where this is so talked about so much. And she also wanted to change the image of the Hispanic girls who get impregnated, because it's not just about that. It happens to anybody, really, because if you're not educated on sex ed, it could happen to anyone, genuinely. So she's changing the image of what people tend to think of as their teen moms. Okay, I'll stop talking about it. It was amazing. I loved it so much. Okay, now we're gonna get into why I say that I cheated. So I read 11 books. Those were the 3 physical books that I read in the month of May. The rest of the books I read, let me pull it up. I have been obsessed with Kindle, basically. And I will show you. I'll try and show you. There's probably gonna be a huge glare. But do you see this? Do you see this? This is my Kindle app. This is my library of manga, basically, and I read volumes 6 through 13 of House of the Sun during this month, basically all in the last like 2 days of May. I told myself that I wouldn't buy too many books this year, so when I started to see House of the Sun like illustrations online, it looked so cute and so engaging, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy the first 2 and see if I like it. And then since January, I think, I've been buying 2 volumes a month and reading them for fun. So something happened to me after volume 8 where I was like, I cannot physically wait for this story. I need to finish it right now. So in volume 8, there is a 3rd character who gets more involved, and in the 9th book I think he moves into the house. Basically, House of the Sun is about a family who had lost their parents. So the older brother years later is trying to keep the house and make sure that the family kind of moves back in and it becomes the House of the Sun again, like it becomes a warm, positive energy again. The main male character is driven to get his little sister and little brother back into the house. But his childhood best friend, who is a girl, is 17. He kind of has a crush on her. She moves in. She kind of has a crush on him. It's an interesting time. And he is 24. So there's that age gap. But nothing like really inappropriate happens going on. It is a shoujo manga, so it's very romance based. So if you really like that kind of story, I would definitely read this, because it is so incredibly cute, so incredibly tense. There's a lot of characters who kind of push the characters to do things they normally wouldn't do. So I really enjoyed it. I finished it. There was only 1 volume I gave like 3 stars to. Let me see if I can figure out which one it was. All of the volumes I gave 4 stars. It's kind of hard to rate a manga because it is different than a novel. It's shorter, but each of these novels, or each of these mangas, had such a cute like arc. There's normally about 4 or 5 chapters in each book. So all of the volumes got 4 stars except for volume 6. I gave it 3 stars. I found that one to be kind of, I guess, like the middle book syndrome, where like not too much happened, even though like the most it started to lead down the path. It was very introductory. I guess that would be the best way to put it. But oh my god, after volume 8 I was obsessed, and the illustration style is so cute. I will try and pop up some pictures of it. But yeah, that's all I read in May, which it still was 11 books, and there's a bug. I hope you can't see that bug who just tried to fly into my mouth. Ew. Get some water. We're gonna fix that real quick. Those were all the books that I read in the month of May. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe and like it if you did. Yes, let's have a little dance party. Beep, 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 beep. I will see you guys in my next video, so make sure you subscribe. I upload. Ooh, this swing is so fun. I love it. I love it. I will be uploading Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from now on. So yeah, stay tuned to my next video, guys. And I can't thank you guys enough for your awesome support. I will see you in the next one. Bye.